Welcome to the Beyond the Books channel. Today we are exploring advanced vocabulary from Chris Grabenstein's Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library. We'll define the words, find synonyms, and discuss how they tie into Kyle Keeley's adventure. Let's get started. In Chapter 1, Kyle's mom is completely apoplectic when Kyle breaks a window while playing a wild indoor scavenger hunt game with his brothers. This funny-sounding word just means being overcome with extreme anger, like you are fuming or totally infuriated. If you ever get so mad your face turns red and you want to yell, you might be feeling apoplectic. When the kids first step into Mr. Lemoncello's new library, they look up into a cavernous room that feels as massive as a giant cave. It means something incredibly vast, deep, hollow, and colossal. Imagine walking into a mammoth, echoing room where your voice bounces all around the walls. Mr. Lemoncello is the perfect example of someone eccentric, because he wears silly shoes, makes weird noises, and does totally unpredictable things. This word means unconventional and slightly strange, or deviating from what is considered normal. Other big words for this are idiosyncratic or aberrant, which basically mean marching to the beat of your own drum. Some kids in the book think old-fashioned library cards are obsolete now that we have computers, holograms, and the internet. It means something that is no longer produced or used because it is completely out of date. Synonyms include antiquated or archaic, kind of like a dusty old flip phone or a cassette tape. Kyle's teammate Sierra Russell is a true bibliophile who would rather bury her nose in a good book than do almost anything else. Her deep love and knowledge of books initially make her a quiet bystander, but it ultimately becomes the key to solving some of Mr. Lemoncello's most difficult literary puzzles. Bibliophile means a person who collects books or has a profound, deep love and appreciation for reading. You might also call this kind of person a bookworm or a member of the literati. Charles Chiltington is a very cunning player who tries to trick the other kids so he can win the library escape game all by himself. While the rest of the kids are trying to figure out the puzzles by working together or reading, Charles uses cunning tactics. He lies, manipulates, and tries to intimidate the other contestants to ensure he comes out on top. Cunning means showing skill in achieving your goals by using deceit, manipulation, or sneaky tricks. If someone is acting shrewd or treacherous to get their way, they are definitely being cunning. To find the tiny hidden clues scattered around the library, Kyle and his friends have to be highly meticulous and check every single bookshelf carefully. Being meticulous means showing great attention to detail and being extremely careful, thorough, and precise. Other great words for this are fastidious or diligent. Mr. Lemoncello loves to give the kids a tricky conundrum, like a wild riddle or a rebus puzzle they have to solve to unlock a door. A conundrum is just a really confusing and difficult problem, question, or puzzle. If you are ever stuck trying to figure out an enigma or a tough quandary, you are dealing with a conundrum. With all its twisting pathways, secret rooms, and holographic displays, the library's layout is very labyrinthine. Built into the shell of an old bank, the library is a maze of secret passageways, hidden rooms, and holographic displays. Labyrinthine means something resembles a giant maze, or is highly irregular, twisting, and complex. Synonyms like intricate and Byzantine perfectly describe how easy it is to get lost inside. The final clues to escaping the library prove to be very elusive, meaning they keep slipping right out of the kids' grasp. When something is elusive, it is difficult to find, catch, or achieve, and hard to even comprehend. You could also say a tricky clue is evasive or transient, because it just won't stay still. Charles Chiltington acts incredibly pompous throughout the game because he constantly brags and thinks he is better than all the other kids. This means being someone who is excessively self-important, arrogant, or affectedly grand, often making a show of dignity to impress others. If someone is being highly pretentious or imperious, they are definitely acting pompous. Kyle is totally flabbergasted when he sees the amazing holographic Wonderdome inside the library for the very first time. This super fun word means being overcome with extreme surprise or shock, so you are completely astounded. If you are ever stupefied or dumbfounded by an awesome magic trick, you are flabbergasted. To win the game, Kyle, Akimi, Sierra, and Miguel have to be very inquisitive and ask lots of questions about the library and the books inside it. Being inquisitive means you are highly curious, eager to learn, and always discovering new things. If you are analytical and scrutinizing, you are a great inquisitive explorer. To win the game, Kyle and his friends have to be very inquisitive. Being inquisitive means you are highly curious, eager to learn, and always discovering new things. If you are analytical and scrutinizing, you are a great inquisitive explorer. When the game first starts, Kyle treats the library escape like a solo video game that he can win all by himself. But he quickly learns a huge lesson. You can't win without teamwork. Nobody knows absolutely everything. To escape, Kyle really needs Sierra's awesome book knowledge, Akimi's super smart puzzle-solving skills, and Miguel's library expertise. The friends win the ultimate prize because they realize everyone has a special superpower, and working together as a team is way better than trying to do everything all alone. Now let's talk about the biggest lesson in the library escape game: playing fair. In the book, we see a huge difference between our hero Kyle and Charles Chiltington. Charles thinks the only way to win is to be sneaky, break his promises, and be mean to the other kids. But guess what? His tricks backfire, and he ends up losing and playing all by himself. On the other hand, Kyle and his friends win the ultimate prize because they use teamwork, share their clues, and always help each other out. This teaches us a super important lesson. How you play the game is just as important as winning. Being kind, honest, and playing by the rules makes you the real winner. Mr. Lemoncello built his amazing, super fun library to show everyone a big secret. Libraries aren't just boring rooms full of dusty old books. They are actually magical gateways to adventure and discovery. In the story, the kids learn that reading and learning new things is like going on a giant treasure hunt. They even use famous books and the library's special sorting system to solve the hardest puzzles. This reminds all of us that our very own local libraries are like giant treasure chests, packed with awesome stories and amazing facts, and they are just waiting for you to come explore. They get completely stuck, hit a dead end, and feel really frustrated and tired. But the story teaches us something awesome. Making mistakes or getting the wrong answer is just part of figuring things out. When the kids get stuck, they don't quit. Instead, they learn to look at the clues in a brand new way and just keep trying. It shows us that if you use your imagination, think outside the box, and never give up, you can solve any problem that comes your way. One of the coolest things about Mr. Lemoncello's library is how it mixes awesome old things with amazing new technology. In the story, the kids find classic, older books right next to giant video screens, holograms, and even awesome hover ladders. This shows us that reading books and playing with high-tech gadgets don't have to be enemies. All this cool technology can actually make learning and reading even more fun. But the game also reminds us that sometimes, turning off our screens and just holding a real paper book in your hands is still one of the best adventures you can ever have. And that brings us to the end of our amazing adventure through Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library. If there is one big thing we learned today, it's that libraries are definitely not just quiet, boring rooms. They are super exciting places where your imagination can run wild. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us at Beyond the Books today. If you had fun, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your reading buddies. Keep exploring, keep turning those pages, and I'll see you in our next video.